Hello everyone. So today we'll continue our topic with the pulse. That is the topic from the unit number 7, that is vital signs. So what is pulse? So definition: pulse is a palpable bounding of the blood flow noted at various points on the body where the artery passes over the bone, and when the blood is pumped into the arteries by the contraction of the left ventricle. So here the normal pulse rate is 70 to 80 per minute. So pulse is a palpable bounding. So palpable bounding or a pounding pulse means a strong throbbing that is being felt over the arteries in the body, and that is due to some forceful heartbeats through the body. So that is being noted at various points where the arteries are felt over the bone or that are light or above the bone. So that pulse is a thing which can be palpable in a bounding sensation through the or noted over the artery that passes over the bone. And when the blood is pumped into the arteries by the contraction of the left ventricle. So when the blood is being pumped into the arteries due to the contractions of the left ventricle. So here when the contractions will be when the contractions will be occurred in the left ventricle of the heart, the blood will be pumped into the arteries, and the normal rate is 70 to 80 beats per minute. Now, how the pulse is being regulated? So, pulse is regulated by an autonomic nervous system, that is ANS, and through the sinoatrial node. So, this is a node that is present in the heart. It is also known as pacemaker. So, the pulse is being regulated by the ANS system, that is autonomic nervous system, and through that the sinoatrial node. This node is also known as pacemaker. Now, parasympathetic stimulation decreases the heart rate, and sympathetic stimulations increases the heart rate. So the sympathetic nervous system will prepare our body for a fight and flight movements or responses during some potential dangers. And on the other hand, the parasympathetic system or the nervous system will inhibit our body to from the overworking and for restoring some of the calm and composed state. Now the quantity of the blood forced out of the left ventricle during each contraction is called the stroke volume. So here we studied in our last slide that from the left ventricle contractions, the blood will pump into an arteries. So here when the forced blood, the quantity of a forced blood that is out from the left ventricle during and each contraction will be known as stroke volume. So this stroke volume will be about 70 ml for an average adult, and from this stroke volume will will calculate the cardiac output. So how will calculate our cardiac output? That is, we have to multiply the stroke volume by the pulse rate. So the pulse rate into stroke volume, so that will give us a cardiac output volume. So here in example 70 ml is our stroke volume, into 80 beats per minute it's the pulse rate, that is equal to 5600 ml, that is 5.6 liters per minute. Okay, so per minute 5.6 liters of blood is being forced out of the left ventricle during and each contractions, and that is known as an cardiac output. Now what is the purpose? To assess response of the heart to the cardiac medications, activities, and blood volume and blood exchange. So here it will help to assess what amount of the blood volume the arteries contain, or the response of the heart to the cardiac medication. So if we provide some medication that is related to cardiac, or that indicates some of the things related to the cardiac, so we'll check about the responses, whether it responds to the medications or not, and to assess the vascular status of the limbs. So we will able to assess some of the vascular, that is the blood volume or the blood status in the lower extremities or the limbs. Now to compare the equality of the peripheral pulses on each side of the body. So here we'll be able to compare the equality, that is for one peripheral region to the next peripheral region. So we'll able to compare the compare the pulses on each side of the body and check the equality. Now to monitor and assess the patient's risk for the alterations in the pulse. So here we'll able to monitor or do an assessment on the patients who have risk for alterations in the pulses. So patient who is having more risk or more alterations in the pulse will able to monitor and assess such kind of patients. Now, what are the equipments that are required for the performing procedure of the pulse taking? So, first is a watch that has a second hand, a pen with a red ink, and a stethoscope and a nurse's note. Now, here first we'll see about the points of the pulse. So, where we can take pulse or the sides of the pulse. So, here first is temporal. So, this is the temporal artery. This is the temporal artery. Next is facial artery. Second, this is the carotid artery. This is the brachial artery, radial, femoral, popliteal, posterior tibial, that is in the posterior side of the leg, and dorsalis pedis, that is anterior side of the leg. Now the procedure. So first we have to explain the procedure to the patient, then we have to hand wash and we have to dry our hands. Then we have to encourage or make the patient comfortable in the position and tell him not to speak when we are finding out if the patient has been ambulated or done any such activity within the previous 15 minutes. Then we have to find out if the patient have been relaxed or not. We have to check whether the patient have was doing such activities before 15 minutes that can increase the heart rate, that is walking, jumping, or climbing the stairs. So we have to avoid such conditions, and we have to check after 15 minutes. Then we have to explain and discuss the procedure to the patient. Then where possible measure the pulse under the same condition each time. So we have to measures at the possible condition or the sites on each time. Then place the index or the middle finger and the ring finger along the appropriate artery and apply light pressure until the pulse is being filled. So here we have to place our index finger, middle finger along the artery, that is above the artery, and we have to apply a bit of pressure so that we can feel pulse. Now next, press gently against the peripheral artery being used to record the pulse. So we have to press gently against the some of the peripheral arteries that is been used to record the pulse, and then the pulse should be counted for 60 seconds. So here we have to at least count the pulse for 60 seconds, and then we have to confirm the rate of the pulse. If the apical pulse is going to be checked, explain to the patient and expose the sternum and the left of the chest. Place the diaphragm of the stethoscope over the point of the maximal impulses at the fifth intercostal space medial to the mid-clavicular line. If the beats regular, count for 30 seconds and multiply by 2. If regular, auscultate for 1 full minute. So if we are taking apical pulse, then we have to explain the patient about the procedure and how the procedure will work. After explaining, we have to expose the sternum part and the left side of the chest. Then we have to place the diaphragm of the stethoscope. The diaphragm is a part of the stethoscope. So we have to place that diaphragm over the point of the maximum impulses at the fifth intercostal space. So intercostal space means the space between two ribs. This is first rib, this is second rib, and the space between these two rib is known as intercostal space. So here we have to place the diaphragm at the fifth intercostal space. So we have to check for the fifth rib, and in that we have to go for the intercostal space of the fifth rib, and then medial to the mid clavicular line. So here the clavicular, this is the clavicular, and the midline of the clavicular. So we have to point and place that diaphragm at here, that is the indicator with the red, that is the apical impulses. So if the beats or the pulse is been regular, then we have to count for 30 seconds and then we have to double, that is we have to multiply by 2. So we'll get an actual count of the pulse for full 1 minute. And if the pulse is irregular, that is we have auscultate it irregular, then we have to auscultate for fully 1 minute. Now record the pulse rate on the appropriate document with an appropriate character. So we have to document it in the file of the patient. Then what are the common variations in the heart rate? So there are some of the variations that have been noticed in the heart rate, that is tachycardia and bradycardia. Tachycardia means pulse rate that is above the 100 beats per minute, that is increase in the heart rate. Tachy means increase and cardiac means heart rate, that is increase in the heart rate that is above 100 beats per minute. Bradycardia means pulse rate is being decreased that is below 60 beats per minute. Thank you.